Okay, so before I start this video, I just want to say that I woke up this morning and it's just been a lot today, okay? I had a great day yesterday. It was my friend's birthday. Hi, Alicia, if you're watching. She turned 25. I made her a piñata cake. It was beautiful and delicious, and I loved it, and I spent so much time on it, and it was so rewarding to feel like I had accomplished making a cake, because I suck at baking, honestly. And I woke up this morning, my entire body was aching because I was dancing last night for like 5 hours. And I had way too many free shots. We know the bartender at the bar we went to, so he always gives us free shots. And today was last night, was my friend's birthday, so he gave us even more free shots. And yeah, I woke up this morning midday with a hangover, and I woke up to a lot of like petty, nasty comments that I wasn't expecting. I was called an idiot today. I was called a really ugly today. Hi Ed, thank you for interrupting my video. Okay, I can't have that in the video. Turn it off. I'm gonna get copy strike. Anyways, so today has just been a lot, and I kind of want a low-key day, a low-key video, a low-key everything. I have to go to an event later today because we bought tickets, and honestly, it's gonna be a great event. It's gonna be a sit-down event. It's gonna be relaxed. I'm gonna have pizza. It's great. But I just wanted to do a low-key video today. I didn't want to sort of sit here for an hour and answer your questions. I will probably do that next week. I did expect to make a video of me making the cake that I made yesterday, but I couldn't because honestly my boyfriend was kind of out of sorts because yesterday was the anniversary of his dad's death. Oh no, sorry, the birthday of his dad, who has passed away. So I was just looking after him yesterday, as well as baking a cake and taking his mind off things. So I'm sorry if you were looking forward to that specific video, but you have this one today, and I'm not saying that this one's going to be any better because I seem to be very out of focus in every way possible. But today's just been a lot from the morning, you know, hangover, body aches, my feet killing me, people just testing me all day and expecting me not to be petty back. And I will repeat here that I am not above being petty. If you come at me with pettiness, I will respond in kind. I'm not about that. Also, someone called me flat-chested today, which is just blindness. Like straight up, clear, profound blindness. Because let's be real, these give me grief. Like I literally have back problems because of them. I'm not flat-chested in the slightest. So people have just been straight up testing me, and I'm kind of over it. But now I'll go off the tangent and I'll actually talk to you about what today's video is about. I wanted to just explain why, or what do I believe about God, because it's something that people ask me about a lot, people are really sarcastic about a lot, and honestly, I'm not here for it today. And I just want to talk about that and then close this, eat my dinner, and then go to this show that we're going to see. So, do I believe in a God? I am what is called a de facto atheist. Even though I don't openly say that I'm an atheist, I prefer to use the label ex-Muslim because I'm no longer a Muslim. But that does not necessarily mean I've given up on looking for God or religion and things like that. I just don't, like right now at this point in my life, I don't really care if there is a God or not. I'm more or less on the side that I don't believe in a God. I don't think he's there, but I believe in the possibility of there being one. Like it's not that important to me. And a lot of people will say that, oh, then you're an agnostic, you don't know. But agnostic is more or less synonymous to atheism, because agnosticism is simply just not knowing something, not knowing that there's a God. And atheists also don't know that there's not a God, they just choose not to believe in him. So it's more or less the same. And I don't like either labels. I feel like the term atheist has a very bad, like a negative connotation to it. And even though I don't really believe in like stereotypes, I prefer to label myself as a free thinker and as an ex-Muslim, because I feel like it has more of an effect. Whereas with atheism, it's, you know, atheism is very broad, and you find a lot of people on that spectrum. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. But I want to talk about God today, and people are pretty clear, like people who've seen why I left Islam are pretty clear on my stance on God. I don't think that a monotheistic God, like the Abrahamic God, Jewish, Christian, Muslim, whichever one you want to go for, is who he says he is, because he proclaims himself as this merciful creator when he clearly isn't, because he roasts his children alive for not believing in him or thinking that there's more gods than him. So I'm not about that God. I don't believe in that God. There is no point in me believing in that God. And I had this dispute today that people don't understand that we don't have substantial evidence for a God. That is a fact. I'm not saying that there is no God. That is the fact. I'm not saying that that's the fact. I'm saying that at this point in time, it is a fact that we don't have substantial evidence for God, and therefore we have no substantial reason for believing in one. Obviously, like, I don't care what you believe. You can believe whatever you want. You can be a Muslim. I have Muslim friends. I know that's not much of an excuse right here, but, you know, I don't care what you believe. I respect people by what they do, what they say, how they carry themselves. It's, you know, it's irrelevant to me what you believe. However, people saying, like, the argument that I had was that there was a guy who posted something about Harry Styles and said something like, "Oh, men will behave like women and women will behave like men, and that's a sign of the end times." And I had said that people have been doing that for years. Like, that apparently, you know, Muhammad predicted this when it was happening way before him. And then that spiraled into, you don't accept facts and the end of times is not a fact, you know? And then I said that there is no substantial proof for God, that is a fact, and yet you believe in God. And then I was called a hypocrite, and I've been called a lot of names today. It's like almost too much. But yeah, that is my main reason for currently being a de facto atheist. But that is more or less, sorry, I got interrupted. That is my reason for being a de facto atheist at this moment, is because we have no substantial evidence for a God. And my whole reasoning for that, the reason why I wouldn't say that I was like a deist or an agnostic, is because, do you know how easy it is for an all-powerful, beneficent, loving God to just be like, hey, I'm here. Even if we went along with the argument that there's a hell and somebody else created it, and it's just inevitable that people will be burned if they don't believe in a God, for whatever reason, hypothetically. Do you know how easy it is for a merciful God, for a God that claims to be merciful, to just be like, dudes, I'm here? Or just like put a sign in the sky that says God is here. Do you know how easy that is? Like, the guy created everything. The guy created everything, and yet he uses these vague, like, hearsay messages to tell us, you know, that he's here, you know? Like, he just picks these special people. And by the way, that's extreme favoritism, that he would pick these special people to guide and, you know, specifically talk to, when he could just talk to all of us, you know, simultaneously through the ages. We can hear him while we're, like, he's all powerful, so we can hear him constantly, 24/7, 365 days a week, you know, a year, and, you know, endlessly hear him. And yet he's chosen these specific people to be our guides and to talk to them directly, and even then not directly, through his angels or whatever the fuck, right? And he picks those people to talk to, and then they tell us a message. Like, why can't he just do that himself when he's all powerful and all loving and all merciful, and then say that he's going to burn us eternally if we don't believe in him? I don't get it. I don't get it. It's so easy for him, and yet he makes it so difficult for us to believe in him. He has made it so difficult for us to believe in him. And then all the messages, well, in terms of Islam anyway, the Quran, it was all hearsay. It was all spoken, recitations, memorization. You know how people are. We're not computers where we systematically memorize word by word what is said. We memorize the meaning of things. That is how we interpret things, and that is how we narrate stories, is by understanding them, is through meaning. It's not through the specific words that we remember things. So there is no guarantee that what was said is like what was written down now, what we have now, is exactly what was revealed back then. It's all hearsay. It's all Chinese whispers. Like even with the hadith, like the hadith is a whole other argument. But with the Quran, it was all recitation, things that people memorized. Like and those were Arabic speaking people. Like we like a lot of Muslims now are not Arabs and do not understand Arabic. When they memorize the Quran, they've memorized it systematically, like a computer memorizes things, because they've memorized it by words, not by meaning. Those people at the time, they were Arabs. They understood the meaning of those words. So how do we know they didn't recite it in that way, you know? So now we have a diluted message, potentially diluted. I'm not here to argue whatever, potentially diluted message that has just been passed around for years, centuries, 1,400 years, right? Like, I'm sorry. There are easier ways of being like, dude, I'm here. Dude, I'm fucking here. Make a YouTube video. Declare yourself, Like, perform some fucking miracles. Why did all the miracles fucking stop? I don't understand. Like, first of all, you don't need a man to perform them, so why don't you just do it? Why don't you just perform a miracle? Fucking turn the light out in the sky instantly, Like, take all the stars away. Make a conundrum that nobody can figure out. It's so simple for him, and yet he doesn't do it. So, no, I cannot accept at least a monotheistic God. I haven't really looked into other kinds of religions because monotheism is the only thing that really made sense to me. I don't really get the whole polytheism thing. I'm definitely going to look into it because I'm interested in mythology and stuff. But no, it doesn't make any sense. If there is, I've always said, if there is a God, like since leaving Islam, if there is a God, he has just moved on. Like, he doesn't give a fuck about us. He's moved on like an artist does. He's created his, quote unquote masterpiece, and then he's just moved on to make another one. He's just gone. He's just another entity doing stuff. Like, I don't think he's here judging us, because I feel like the amount of times that I've called him out and said fucking kill me is ridiculous. I'm still here. So so that is my video for today. I'm sorry, I am a mess. My hair is still kind of wet. I'm wearing a what is it called? A bralette. I have been, confronted with ageism, with classism, with fucking shallowness. I'm so done, and there is no fucking God, as far as I'm aware. And, once we have substantial proof, I'm more than willing to accept it. I'm more than willing to, look into it and be like, okay, I was fucking wrong. But until there is, like, it's a fact. There is no substantial proof for God. That is a fact, And then people were also like, oh, you've never seen your ancestors. Does that mean there's no ancestors? And I was like, no. Logic follows that I have ancestors. You can do DNA tests and figure out where I was from. You can figure out ancestors. And then like, oh, but you can't figure out every single ancestor. I was like, no. You said that there's no proof that I have ancestors. And there is. So, fuck off. Like, don't make stupid arguments if you can't hold them up. It's not difficult, is what I'm saying, It's not difficult. So I'm gonna go. I'm like so tired and I just want to chill out. It's fucking Sunday. It's sunny outside. This video is a mess. And I will see you on Wednesday, honestly. I'm just like, I'm preparing for a really, really tough week Next week, exams are going to start. My kids are going to be fucking flustered. I have 2 different interviews. I've had to pay so many expenses recently. I'm just a mess. Like, I don't give a fuck about anything right now. Let alone this. Talking about an imaginary person, right? So, I'm out, guys. This is the video you have for Sunday. I'm only making this because I want to be consistent. I just wanted this to be a low-key video, and I hope what I said made a little bit of sense, and I'm sorry for all the swearing. Also, I'm not sorry for the swearing, because I'm an adult, I've got a mouth, and I'm gonna say what I mean exactly how I want to say it. Thank you, love you, goodbye.